What's good, y'all? Dr. Trehunna. Now, in our generation, we learned something about probiotics, right? Everybody heard of probiotics before. We all heard in the news or in the late media that, oh, you need to have these probiotics. But now, if you actually pay attention to the health industry, now everybody's talking about prebiotics, right? And a lot of people are like, what the hell is that? So today, we're going to talk about prebiotics, what is its relationship when it comes to probiotics, and what to do to start giving your body more prebiotics. That way you're in overall better metabolic health. So first things first, what is a postbiotic? A postbiotic, in those vegetarian capsules that you take here and there or in them gummies or whatever the case may be, these actually have a colony of bacteria inside of it. Every single time you have postbiotics, it's literally bacteria inside of it that you're consuming. Now, ironically, you're probably thinking, why in the hell am I doing that, right? I heard all my life that bacteria is bad for you. And the main reason why is because they never taught you the other side of bacteria. The only bacteria that you learned about was, pathogens, bacteria, viruses, etc. And these bacteria are ultimately trying to harm you. That is true. But we also have a synergistic relationship with bacteria, which means what? We actually need the bacteria that's hosted inside of our body. Yes, inside of your body. All right. So believe it or not, in your large intestine, you actually have a whole colony and multitude of colonies, various forms of bacteria. All right. Now they're ubiquitous, which means what? They're everywhere, right? But not only that they're ubiquitous, you need to feed them for them to last inside your body. Okay. Now, the more different colonies that you have in your body, technically, the better metabolic health you're in. All right. But here's the thing. If you're not feeding these colonies, once again, they're not going to exist. So think about probiotics and prebiotics like you're trying to grow your garden, right? Let's say you're trying to grow some tulips inside your garden. So you go ahead and plant the seed of the tulips and you're not watering it, you're not fertilizing it. And then you're saying, hey, well, I went ahead and planted the tulips, why it's not growing? You're not doing the necessary things for it to grow. You still need to fertilize the tulip and you still need to water the tulip. The same thing applies here. You can continue to take probiotics every single day. I don't care if it's $80 probiotics. I don't care if it's $20 probiotics. If you're not giving your gut microbiome the right fuel so it can actually fertilize your probiotics, it's going to die off. So you're basically taking that $50 pill for no reason. That's when prebiotics come to play. What prebiotics are is basically the fertilizer for your gut. And prebiotics are basically different types of fiber breaks down into the gut microbiome and you're literally feeding the gut microbiome. That's why fiber is so important. That's why people who eat more fiber technically live longer on earth. Why? Because if your gut is healthy, your whole entire system is healthy. Majority of your immune system is hosted where? In your gut area. So if your gut buddies and your gut microbiome or gut bacteria is happy, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to be in better immune health, but also going to be in more metabolic health. You're going to be more insulin sensitive in your body and your overall immune system is going to be better. So what we're going to talk about is the 3 main vegetables you need to incorporate day in and day out, if possible. That way you can have more prebiotics inside of your system, which means that you're going to be overall healthier. So the first vegetable or fungus, in this case, that I want you to incorporate day in, day out, that way you can actually give your body more prebiotics, is mushrooms. A lot of people is either turned off with mushrooms or they love mushrooms. There's no gray area when it comes to mushrooms. Ironically, if you can handle mushrooms and you're not allergic or sensitive to mushrooms, I want you to incorporate it. Why? These things have a lot of compounds in it, a lot of soluble fiber in it that can ultimately do you more good than harm. What I want you to do is focus on reishi mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, and lion's mane mushrooms. These 3 types of mushrooms actually got different benefits to it. Lion's mane is called the brain mushroom, okay? It's a superfood for the brain. Why? It helps you create more neurons through a process called BDNF. So when you're actually giving your body lion's mane, it's going to break down 2 components and your brain can actually produce more BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor. All right, which means what? It's going to help your neurons grow and divide, which means what? More connections, more neurons. You can think a little bit more clear. You got more mental clarity. You're more focused. You know when you go into a room and you're like, why did I walk into this room again? That stops happening. It's going to help your overall cognitive development. So all these things are happening just because you decide to eat more lion's main mushrooms. Okay, but also there's a reishi mushroom, and what reishi mushrooms do, it is loaded with beta glucans, which is a polysaccharide, and a polysaccharide is just basically a whole lot of sugar mixed together, right? But in this case, it's not the sugar that you think about. A beta glucan, your body cannot break down. A lot of people don't know that fiber is literally in the carb category for a reason. It's a type of carb, but this type of carb, your body don't have the digestive enzymes to break down. Which means what? It's basically feeding your gut microbiome. So that's why fiber is essential. Even though it's a type of carb, which means it's still a type of polysaccharide, these type of polysaccharides or this type of fiber, your body cannot break down for energy. Only your gut microbiome can break it down and use it for energy. Not only these beta glucans that's hosted in these reishi mushrooms is good for your immune health, but it can help seal your gut, which means what? It's better for your overall digestive health as well. The last mushroom I want you to pay attention to or try to get more of is shiitake mushrooms. Now, shiitake mushrooms, it is loaded with melatonin. Now, you're thinking of melatonin like, oh, okay, that means it's gonna help me sleep. No. One of the main two antioxidants inside your cells is glutathione and it's melatonin, which means what? Melatonin is actually an antioxidant, and majority of the cells in your body has melatonin. That way it can counteract free radicals or reactive oxygen species. So you want to have more melatonin, that way your body can fight back against the thing that harms it. All right. So if you're giving your body more shiitake mushrooms, your body has more resources to fight off reactive oxygen species, which means it can detoxify itself better. All right. That's why I want you to get more mushrooms inside your diet. Now, if you're somebody who naturally don't eat a lot of mushrooms, you're not going to the store and buying some shiitake, reishi, or lion's mane. What I started to incorporate since this new year of 2023, it's called Master Blend, okay? And it's basically a derivative of a whole lot of mushrooms mixed together. I'm not sponsored by this company at all. But one thing I noticed, once I started taking this mushroom superfood Master Blend, I start to have more mental clarity. I feel like I'm more focused, and I feel like my gut health overall is better. I'm starting to use the bathroom a little bit more, which is a plus as well, you know? So if you're somebody who's inconsistent with your bowel movements, you notice that you don't have as much mental clarity, you have a lot of brain fog, this will be perfect for you. All right? Now, the second thing I want you to incorporate more is okra. All right? Okra is loaded with prebiotic fiber, which means what? Your better metabolic health, you're gonna be more insulin sensitive, your glucose levels are gonna drop down, and you're gonna be better when it comes to your immune system overall. The main thing I want you to pay attention to is dark leafy green vegetables, okay? So not your broccoli, not your Brussels sprouts, even though it got some fiber in it. I'm talking about that arugula. I'm talking about that Swiss chard. I'm talking about that bok choy. These things are loaded with polyphenols, and polyphenols allow your body to fight against more free radicals and antioxidants. All right, but because it got some prebiotic fiber into it as well, it's going to literally help fuel your gut microbiome. People who don't have a lot of good bacteria in their body are the people who have more allergies and sensitivities. People who have a weaker immune system have less colonies in their gut microbiome. There's a direct correlation to it. So if you're actually feeding your gut microbiome that you already possess with prebiotic fibers, then they're gonna stay longer. If they die off, 9 times out of 10, they die off. So hopefully y'all learned something today. These are some prebiotic fibers, and this is what prebiotic fibers are in the first place. That's your reset tip of the day. That's gonna be Say Snatch all the time. Know that sometime. Talk to you soon.